Legion of faceless fortitude. Most of the rage you feel does not come from the brutal events you have gone through. It's the anger that festers from realizing too late how many false stories you bought into. The moments you trusted blindly, the choices you made, or the naivety that let you walk headfirst into those punches. We get burned by the twisted myths we were raised on, the people we put on pedestals who turned out to be anything but gods. The world did not change us alone. It's the betrayal, the naive trust we placed in others who disappointed, friends who faded, even family ties that soured. It's the scars left not by distant enemies, but by the people we once called our own. Being broken is a state that has shifted over time. In the past, it might have been shaped by the trenches of war, by bearing witness to life and death on a battlefield. Now the battlefield is internal. The wounds cut by friends who betrayed you, a partner who left you stranded, the relatives or mentors who let you down. We are left feeling trampled by the very ones we trusted most, and somehow that's a deeper scar than any distant misfortune could ever create. And unlike battles we might willingly enter, no one chooses these wars. It's the tragedy of misaligned trust, a roll of the dice we never agreed to throw. And what do we become in the aftermath? We adopt every flaw that world projected onto us. Slowly but surely we turn bitter, wary of everyone's motives. Our anger is not just anger, it's a weapon that morphs into judgment, isolation, dependency on substances that numb rather than heal. We push people away, turning to vices that only deepen the wounds. We were not born this way. We became this by coping the only way we knew how. Hiding in our own world, dodging the cruelty that taught us to fear and mistrust. But here's where we get it wrong. This phase doesn't have to be forever. The darkness, the resentment, the aching sense of betrayal, it's a phase we can rise out of if we are willing to acknowledge and examine the reality we live in. We have to educate ourselves on life's brutal truths to see the harsh game of what it is, because there is no fairy tale ending waiting to surprise us. Reality, with its indifference and its tangled web of human motives, is as unforgiving as it is enlightening. The only way out of this rut is to understand it, to dissect it until the anger loses its grip. Learning, real learning, is the weapon that cuts through the fog of brokenness. And here's the game changer. That deep, true understanding isn't just about learning why the world is so merciless. It's about understanding how we play into it, how our own blind spots and unacknowledged traumas allowed us to keep making the same mistakes. We have to look at why people act as they do, what drives them, what breaks them, what keeps them trapped in their own cycles. It's only when we do this honestly and thoroughly that we begin to reclaim our sense of peace. We can finally see that everyone operates under their own broken lens, dealing with their own battles, their own choices, and sometimes their own ignorance. Imagine what would happen if we dug deep enough to understand the roots of our own behavior, the motivations behind those who let us down, and our repeated mistakes. Why did a friend betray us? Maybe they were dealing with their own battles they never spoke of. Why did a partner leave? Sometimes it's about the patterns they have carried from years before, scars and fears you never seen knew existed. Or maybe you were not the right person they wanted. You start to see that their actions, however hurtful, are rooted in wounds of their own. It doesn't erase the pain, but it helps you release the grip of anger, to let go of the bitterness that's been eating away at your soul. The deeper truth is this. We cannot expect life to be fair, nor can we rely on people to fill the gaps in our own understanding. That's a brutal truth most avoid, but facing it is what moves us from victim to survivor. Understanding life's rules, accepting the limitations of human behavior, and recognizing the flaws within ourselves and others is the pathway forward. The most resilient people are not unscarred. They are just those who learned to live with their scars without letting them poison the rest of their lives. If you have been knocked down by life, disappointed by others, or crushed under the weight of failed expectations, remember this. Those battles left you with scars, but they did not strip you of your power to grow, to rebuild on your own terms. You are not entitled to perfection, but you are entitled to resilience. Learn the rules of this game, this chaotic, unkind world that does not owe us fairness. When you accept the reality of its rules, you begin to win by your own standards. Some might call it cold, others might say it's harsh, but that's only if they have not played the game as deeply as you have. To dive deeper into intriguing topics like this, click here to watch more. Wake up.